Start stream.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna start the recording. And here we go. You guys good? Or is it? Is everything okay? Is it the quiet time?
Yeah.
Okay. I just heard a door.
I did too.
Oh, that's my chair squeaking.
Oh,
You guys looked over like I thought like one of your kids got out or something. All right, here we go.
One of my kids?
Yeah, one of Luke's kids. I was worried about it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog, the weekly show about video games, old and new. My name is Tyler Everett. It is June 3rd, 2017, and this is episode 34. Joining me, as always, is my good friend Brian Maxwell. How's it going, sir?
Not bad, yourself?
Doing okay. And joining him is Kat Maxwell. How are you?
good. How are you, Tyler?
Doing great. And returning once again is Mr. Luke Phillips. How's it going, sir?
Hey, I'm fantastic.
You sound fantastic.
Thank you.
This is a big week. We got a lot of stuff going on. Luke, you're going to get up on out of here. You're not going to be on next week's show.
Yeah, so next week is a pretty exciting week. I get to check something off of my bucket list. I'm finally going to be able to get to go see Tool live.
Nice.
Something I've been looking there to do for about 10 years now, and they're finally coming around, so I will be joined by Brian and Kat. You guys are coming along, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah. So you guys have seen them before, right?
No, this is off my bucket list.
I have. I've seen
Okay.
them 2 or
So
3
Brian,
times.
you have. All right.
Yeah, this
So-
is a first for me.
So this is exciting. I cannot wait to do this. I bought a new Tool shirt the other day, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
Wait. I thought there was an unwritten rule where you're not supposed to wear the band's T-shirt to the concerts.
Unless it's Rush.
Oh, I don't know about that rule. I mean, I guess I could wear my Native Howl shirt. That'd be cool, right?
Definitely. You should definitely do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I
instead.
also bought a new shirt to wear.
Nice.
I did not.
But after that, the next day at like 7 in the morning, I fly out to Montana. Gonna get some behind-the-scenes look at Far Cry 5,
Yeah.
real life.
Early build.
Yep.
The alpha, yeah.
Check out the locations in person.
That's
That'd be cool. I'll be going to Yellowstone, so very, very excited for this upcoming week.
Awesome. So you're going
What's
to do
in
some...
Montana?
I'm sorry, what's that, Kat?
What's in Montana?
Oh, just going on for vacation. Going to Yellowstone.
Oh wow.
I didn't know it was in Montana.
And
It's-
trendy haircut rednecks, too. Those are out there.
It's on like the border, Brian. So we're flying into Bozeman, Montana.
Oh, you got to be careful in Bozeman.
Careful in Bozeman.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're
You know something I don't?
Bozeman.
religious cults cropping up out there all over the place. I've seen the
Oh.
imagery. It's
That's just
shocking.
Montana.
That's just Montana. Cool, man. Well, I'm happy for you. We'll miss you on the show, but that'll be a neat thing for sure.
Maybe I'll get Skype on my phone and try to find some Wi-Fi at the hotel. And be like,
Yep.
Are you doing some camping while you're out there too?
no, I'm going with my parents, so we won't really be doing any camping, but we're looking to do some day hiking.
Cool. Good stuff. What
Maybe we'll
about
take my hammock and do some mock life.
Sounds good, man. Well, Maxwell's, what have you guys been up to this week? How are things?
Things are good.
I have cool hair.
She has cool hair.
It's true. It's true. It's new. It's blue. It's purple. It's got all kinds of stuff in
Purple,
there.
blue. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's lots of stuff going on.
It's hella cool.
I finished,
Hey,
nice.
nice throwback.
I finished my top 50 games list I've been working on for several months.
Yeah.
I feel like this has been going on for at least a year.
I don't
Like,
think
when
it's
did
been that
when did
long,
number
maybe.
50 get released?
Ooh, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
Because that would be like one a week, and I don't think it's been one a week.
No.
So. Damn.
Good stuff. Yeah. You have to check it out. If you head on over to questlogcast.com, you can find a link to all 50 of Brian's favorite games and read along. It's pretty cool. It was a wild ride.
I'm here to disappoint you all.
You never fail to disappoint.
Thank you, Luke.
Good stuff. Well, Brian, you've got something in here about missing physical media in games.
I saw an advertisement
An advertisement
for the
Familiar.
new Torment game, like the physical copy that comes with a map, like a cloth map. I miss shit like that. I really miss stuff like that.
I think mine's all in the car right now, but yeah.
It's nice being able to buy games from home without putting on pants. That's great, but I miss having the little knickknacks and trinkets. And I'm a map dork. I love maps. So
it can sit in a closet and not go up on our walls.
Yeah.
We have children.
I used to just
the
love the
Stardew Valley physical, copy has a map, like a cloth map in it, and
that was kind of the go-to thing for a lot of the games, huh?
Shouldn't buy it the third time. Well, they got to give you some reason to buy a physical copy of it. I mean,
it used to be that they just make a game and they didn't have room to put tutorials and walkthroughs and a whole intro area to it. It was just the game. So you used to get a cool little booklet with all the moves in it and all the different things that you could get and the power-ups and what they all did. I always remember the Mario ones being really good. Like the Super Mario 3 book was phenomenal. It had like all the different bad guys and cool little animations showing you how to like jump and defeat them and stuff. It was
little Nintendo instructions that were like little pamphlets.
Yeah.
Yep. It's good stuff. I miss that. Miss those days for sure. Well, let's get into the current days and talk about what we've been playing. So, Brian, before we get too much into here, you still cranking away on Persona 5?
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I think I've crossed the 80-hour threshold.
You gotta
I
be
just
getting
finished
there.
the 5th Palace.
I think I was listening to the Giant Beast cast, and Alex was saying I think he put 95 hours into it and finished it finally. So you got to be coming kind of close here.
What day are you on?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think so. I'm still digging it. I know Persona 3 took me about 100 hours. I think almost on the nose to finish. I never finished 4. I don't know what happened.
I finished 3 as well.
I think about the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a nice, ridiculously long RPG every so often.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be quite a year. Japanese games have definitely weaseled their way back into all of our lives here in 2017 in a way I didn't expect. So there'll be some cool discussions for the end of the year for sure. You know what, Luke, I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to let you start us off this week. You got yeah, right? It's just breaking expectations here. I want to know about Everspace.
Well, last week I didn't have a space game, I don't believe, so I had to bring it back for this week.
There was a glitch in the
Everspace
Matrix.
was just released on Steam, and it is a space exploration game roguelike.
That's pretty.
Yes.
I was just going to say that's real pretty.
It is one of the most gorgeous games I have ever seen. So you just start off in the ship. You don't really know what's going on. And
You're
stuff starts
shooting.
attacking you, and you shoot it down. You collect resources, unlock new weapons, and different power-ups for your ship. And then once you go through a waypoint system, a map comes up, much like an FTL, where you have different paths you can take to the end of the sector. Select a path, jump to it, and the next area is randomly generated, and it throws you in there. Go around, collect stuff, kill stuff, jump onto the next sector, and try to get as far as you can. When you die, you get a screen where you could spend your money on different perks, such as like energy regeneration, extra credits in your next run, more weapons and armaments on your ship, stuff like that. That stuff you always keep from run to run. The perks that you unlock, you keep. And then
That's
you
cool.
start back at the very beginning and see how far you can get.
That's awesome. That sounds like my kind
You
of
mentioned
space game.
FTL.
Is
It
that
sounds
Brian?
a lot like FTL, but
Yeah.
with more upgrades between runs. I dumped a lot of hours into FTL. So.
It's FTL and a fighter
ship.
ship.
Yeah.
Instead as opposed to like a massive ship.
That's
Mhm.
cool. I was watching a bit of what's the other space game? Elite Dangerous.
Hmm.
I was watching YouTube videos on that, and this looks like it's kind of that, but like the crack cocaine version of that. Like Elite Dangerous, I think, is more about exploration and like continuing your character and that sort of thing. Where this is more like, like you said, do a run, get as far as you can, and start over. That's very appealing to me.
And so far the runs are lasting about 30 minutes or so, 30, 45 minutes,
Okay.
which pretty much just fits in right for my attention span for games nowadays. I can't sit and play a game for 5-6 hours in one stretch anymore. But if I can sit down and do 2 runs and then get up, I feel like I've accomplished something, and then come back to it later on. Fits perfectly for my play style right now.
That's cool.
And as you can see here, there is a little bit of a storyline. You find out in the very beginning that you are a clone, and that explains why when you die, you come back. It's actually a clone version of you that goes back out into space.
Upload your consciousness. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Now, the visuals, though, are, like I said, absolutely stunning. I find that every time I go out into a new area, I just kind of sit there for a few seconds and just pan around a little bit and just gaze at everything that's happening.
Take it in.
Yeah, you were pointing out like the scratches on the windshield when the light hits it just right.
Yep. I don't know if the video's going to show it at all, but if you look carefully, if you're looking at a bright light surface, you'll see the imperfections on the windshield, scratches and stuff like that. It's a very, very cool touch.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but this looks like it would be extremely cool in VR.
It is, yeah. They have VR support. I think Oculus and one other. I can't remember.
I still someday I want to take that jump, but it's still.
I have a
it's still
few
outside the
small
price
gripes
range.
about the game. One, because it is randomly generated each time you go to a new sector, I found that sometimes I can get 10 jumps in and do just fine and then die. And then other times I'll be a jump or 2 in and just hit some sort of random spaceship that's super difficult and I die. So it's not very consistent in that regard, but look past it. My other complaint is if you look on the outer edges of the screen, there'll be little icons for like ships or resources, stuff like that. The resources in particular are blue, and they show up nice and big on the side of the screen, but then when they're actually in front of you, they're a real small blue. And sometimes it's hard to see them in the background of space. And there's a weird bug to where if I'm inside a wrecked ship, my frame rate plummets. Which is the exact opposite of how it should be. It's only rendering the small inside space of the ship. It should have no problem with that, but that's where the frames drop.
Weird. Huh. Well, is it something that you think you'll stick with and keep playing, or?
Yeah, I would like to. I'd like
Yeah.
to at least do a full run of it. I think there's 6 sectors, and there's 4 jumps per sector, 4 or 5.
So there is a way to beat the game?
Yep, there is an end to it, but that's when you combine a new ship and start over.
So you're
How are the
starting over.
upgrades?
The upgrades?
Yeah, you just like, get
Weapons
better
or
weapons.
perks?
What's that?
Weapons or perks? Or
Gotcha.
both.
Cool.
You get the weapon upgrades and armor upgrades during your runs, and you swap them out. You don't get to keep them from run to run, but you can collect blueprints, and then in your next run, as you collect resources, you can craft them.
Gotcha. So you still start at the same spot, but now you have like passive perks and then also the blueprints so that you can make the stuff that you found throughout. That's cool.
Yep, exactly. And as you collect resources, you can actually upgrade the equipment you have on your ship.
that seems to be the way that most of these roguelite games are going, is like you don't get to actually keep the stuff, but there's a way for you to like attain it quicker or attain specific things that you've encountered along the way. So
they all have a different spin on it. I know, like Dead Cells, like you unlock things that can now appear in chests. Like, so the range of stuff that you can find gets larger.
Gotcha.
That's a perk that I'm putting points into right now. There's one that will increase how many credits you get per run, and one that increases the chance for rare items. Which I only have a few points into that, and so far it's been making a huge difference.
Cool, man. Well, Kat, I want to know a little bit more about Horizon.
I've actually been following the main quest a lot more than I normally do.
Yeah.
So I can't show my actual footage from yesterday because it's real spoily. But it's definitely getting good.
Yeah.
They're answering some of the questions that they've been posing.
And that's really fascinating because, I mean, the game itself, here you have these kind of old tribey, and then there's machine animals. So what's going on? There's future stuff. There's, past stuff, and you're getting a lot more answers.
Right. We're making weapons out of, sticks and rocks, and armor out of animal pelts, but then you got robots walking around.
Yeah, I fought a boss yesterday, and much to my unhappiness, I had to actually Google some help for it because it was pretty tough, and I was 8 levels above the quest level. So I was pretty impressed with that.
Bosses are still tough, even if you're powerful. That's cool.
Yes, yeah, because I'm level 26 right now, and the quest I was doing was 18. And how many times did I die last night?
You were getting a little frustrated.
Yeah. But the game has yet to cease to surprise me because literally every time you go to a new area, you'll run into extra side quests, and I've got stuff that's way too hard for me. I've got stuff that's below me, but it's still challenging, and I've got stuff that's right about, my level. So I'm, you can spend hours and hours just farming goods to make things too. I mean, it's
good that you can't just grind and be like, well, I'm 5 levels higher, so I'm just going to walk over everything in my path.
Well, I thought, okay, I can finally go back and do part of the main quest, and it shouldn't be too bad. And it kicked my butt. I was like, okay, well, I actually have to play, which, kudos to them because it's not a walk in the park. It's still having to beat this nasty machine that it's really enjoyable. I enjoy doing headshots in the game a lot, so that's my favorite thing. I just got a power where I can notch 2 arrows.
Oh, cool.
It's amazing.
Way to go, Legolas.
Yeah,
actually, I can slide and shoot my bow while I'm sliding now too.
Perfect.
So
there it is.
Yep. But yeah, it's you're meeting more pivotal characters. You meet a lot of shady characters. There's a lot of different races. There's this race hates that race, and these people are more part of the future aspect of it, where one tribe is more on the old tribey part of it. It's neat.
That's cool. That's something I think that for all of Zelda's strong points, there isn't that constant story, and I kind of like that. There's I guess pros and cons to it. But yeah, that's something that I find it wasn't the story wasn't a driving force for me when I played through Zelda. So, but it seems to be in this. So I'm still super jealous that I can't play Horizon. It looks so good. It's exactly the kind of thing that I want.
To be fair, Tyler, it's in Zelda. It's been 100 years. So what's another few days?
Right.
Exactly. Ganon can wait.
Right.
I would say
hurry.
I touched Zelda for, I don't know, very funny. I played Zelda for probably 20 minutes, and my beef with that game is I can just waltz up to any place. Like, I got one-shotted by. I'm like, well, I didn't know, like, I shouldn't be going in this specific direction, and I got my butt kicked. Where I feel there's a little bit more direction here, but there's still an open world. Like, any place that you've been prior, you can fast travel. So let's say all of a sudden I have one quest where I'm on the east coast. Now I have to go to the west side. I can automatically travel if I've been to if I've
Represent.
been to one of the areas. So it's
That's cool.
I will say that for as much as those two games are similar on the surface, they don't feel anything alike at all.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this probably... Zelda doesn't feel like a modern game in a lot of ways. Like, in some ways it does, but in others
I can see that.
it seems to like... Oh, that was cool. You kind of slid down that log. Sorry. This just seems to be a much more modern open world game where Zelda does a lot of that stuff, but also has like a lot that just makes it seem like an old school. Like, I was constantly reminded of the original Legend of Zelda when I played through Breath of the Wild, and in a good way.
Yep.
Like, I really liked that about it, but I did miss some of these modern trappings. So
Zelda feels more open
Oh yeah.
to me. Like, maybe it's just because like in Horizon, it seems like there's mountains and things everywhere. In Zelda, a lot of the time it just feels wide open to me in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And you have magic barriers a lot more in Horizon.
Yeah, the
can't
climbing
climb
feels
every
good
little thing I
in
want.
Zelda. That's the hardest thing going between them is like in Zelda, it's pretty much you can climb just about everything. And
Yep.
like with
Unless it's
Horizon,
raining.
there's got to be handholds, or like there are designated spots for you to climb.
Yeah, you'll see them like you'll see like yellow, which shows you like you can climb here.
Mhm.
I spent probably 5 minutes trying to climb this little like cliff, and it wouldn't let me up there.
Yeah, there are every now and again there's a place where it's like I really should be able to scale that without too much difficulty, but it's
Nope.
not. It's not designated for that. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That is going to be something that's going to be hard to adapt to after playing so much Breath of the Wild, because you can literally climb everything in that game. And I think there's like the ancient like Guardian stuff is the only thing that you can't really climb, or if it's raining. But
I really think you'd enjoy it because literally like every town you go to, there's extra side quests.
yeah,
And let's say you're off doing a side quest, you can come along like 2 or 3 just out in the wild too.
yep.
So there's plenty of stuff to do in the game.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. It looks real cool. I
Someday
gotta
you'll get your hands on it.
someday I'll
There is one thing I
sacrifice my
dislike.
Xbox
Like, I'm in
yeah.
a major city, and like in any game, there's merchants. But here, there's like specific merchant. There's a general merchant, and then there's special items for this, and then there's special items for that. That I find to be quite a pain in the butt because there's like 2 or 3 different levels of the city, and having to find which specific one you want is a big pain.
You just want the Kmart that's got everything.
I just want one that takes care of everything.
Your single stop for all your needs.
Yeah, one-stop shop.
Yep, cool. Well, I'm going to switch over to a game I played called A King's Tale, Final Fantasy 15.
Yay!
I played this on my Xbox One, so I decided this week that I was going to stop being an Xbox One hater and then play a couple games on it. And I even used the streaming feature, the what do you call it? What do they call it? I don't know. Xbox streaming, whatever it's called.
Oh, so you played it at your desktop.
Yeah, yep. I wanted to check that out and see if it was any better. And it is. It worked pretty much okay. The only problem I had was I was trying to leave my controller wireless. I didn't physically plug it in, and I'm downstairs. My TV and Xbox are upstairs. So the controller would desync every once in a while, and that would kind of throw me off. But it usually kicked right back over, and it was fine. What is it called? A King's Tale. It's basically the king from... So this is like a prequel. And as you can see, he's reading a story to his little boy, Noctis. who is the playable character in Final Fantasy 15. And it's basically just him talking about like things that he did when he was younger. He's basically telling a bedtime story, and the gameplay is basically a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's pretty fun. Like, I actually was surprised. Yeah, yep. It reminded me of the Ninja Turtles arcade games that I used to play a lot when I was a kid. It's extremely like fast-paced. You're mashing the crap out of your buttons. There are combos and stuff you can do. The different enemy types will be resistant to a certain type of attack, so you have to switch those up. But yeah, it was surprisingly difficult and quite a bit of fun, and I think I played it for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour or so.
Where did this come out in respects to the RPG, like the?
I think it was after. It's a free game. Like, we've got it on the PlayStation.
Oh, we do.
And I did the same as Tyler. I think I played it for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and I said, this really ought to be a co-op game.
Yeah, that would have been cool to be able to...
It seems like it's just made for it, but...
Gotcha.
That style is really made for that co-op.
Yeah.
It's free, so I can't complain, but it just seems like a natural fit for it.
Ryan, this is the internet. You can complain all you want.
That's true. He's not wrong. Luke
I don't like that.
nailed it. But yeah, I don't have a ton to say about it. There's not a ton you could say about it, other than I was just surprised they keep adding things. Like, you have magic attacks that you can weave in there. There's cool enemy interactions. Like, there's these bomb type dudes that you can knock into the other ones and they'll explode. And it's
seems like a rock paper scissors kind of thing, where it's like, these ones have shields, so use your heavy attacks against the shield guys.
Right.
So did this go into like the backstory of Regis and
yeah, it seems
whatnot of like his reign and stuff?
Kind of. Like, he seems young. He's got a buddy that I'm sure that you would recognize from playing, Final Fantasy 15. And it's just like, it seems like the city is under siege, and he's got to figure out who's attacking, and then something gets stolen and they're trying to chase it down. So there's some story there. I think it didn't mean much to me since I haven't played any of the other Final Fantasy 15 stuff that's out there. So, but I would imagine that you'd get something out of it if you tried it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's real pretty. It looks cool for one of these.
If I remember correctly, this should lead into the very beginning of King's Slave.
Ah, there you go.
Okay.
Because there's the beginning of that, I want to say, takes place quite a few years before the actual bulk of the movie and the game does.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so, A King's Tale.
That's cool.
Check it out now. It's free. Doesn't cost any money, and it was pretty good. I liked it. Let's see. What should we do next here? Brian, Transistor. I've wanted to play this game for a very long time. This is from Supergiant Games, the makers of Bastion.
Yes. They've got one called Pyre coming out soon, I think, too. You said you played it for a very long time. Did I hear you right?
I've wanted to play it for a very long time.
You've wanted to play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I liked Bastion a lot, and this looks very cool, but I have not tried it yet.
Yeah, the art style, like, you can see the fingerprints from Bastion on here. The narrator is the same. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, he's not quite doing the, like, gruff cowboy kind of, the kid just raged.
Yeah.
Like, he's not doing that, but it's got this sort of like futuristic sci-fi, like dystopian feel to it. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding what's happened in the story so far. Like, it just kind of opens up and drops you in the middle of nowhere and lets you sort of figure it out. And it's feeding me little bits of story at a time. Like, the city's empty, and the person you're playing as, this woman named Red, she's a concert performer. I'm not sure of a lot of things at this point, but the sword is talking. The sword seems to be sentient and alive.
And also
the
made
narrator
of some kind of circuitry.
is the sword.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
And it also looks to be made of some kind of circuitry.
Yes. It seems like there have been a few times where I encounter dying people, and the sword seems to take their souls ish, maybe not in a dark demonic way, but the sword's like, oh, this one didn't make it. Ching, you got a new skill.
Darn it.
You had a D&D character like that.
Yeah, I did. That was fun.
Demon sword, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool.
The combat's a real weird mix of, like, it's real time, but you can pause it and issue a bunch of commands, sort of like action points that you spend. So, like, you do all your actions at once, and then you've got to wait for your meter to fill up so you can pause time again and do that again.
Is your sword, like, dragging on the ground making that?
Yeah, it's real big. It's a big sword.
That's kind of cool. Like, they add that kind of animation in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Pyramid Head.
It's got a lot of personality.
Yes, Luke.
Digging it so far. You can customize your skills quite a bit, too. You get these things that seem like they're sort of like circuits or chips. You can have 4 of them equipped at once that are active, and then you can, like, each chip you can equip as an active ability or as a modifier to another chip. So, like, if you've got one that, like, it's like a bomb that does a little AoE explosion, like, that can be one of your buttons, or you can make that a modifier on a different skill that'll add a little AoE, spin to it. So there's a lot of options for customization.
Cool. In the like actual gameplay and skills and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate a big old sword and a lady. I like that. I like that in my games. I like that. Like Kat. I like that she's just kind of dragging it around. That's pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's pretty normal for Japanese, like any of the games. I mean, you got this tiny little person carrying on this huge mega sword, and now here you see, it's heavy. I'm dragging it around.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
I have a thing for female leads though, because it's not done enough.
And again, she's
awesome.
not super like sexualized or anything, which is
like
good
Nier.
when they can do that. Yeah, like Nier. She's not a sex robot.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, I'm very interested in the story, though. I'm curious to see where it goes. I've had a shitload of technical issues with it, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it wants to load to a black screen when I start it up, so I have to quit out, load it back up, quit out, load it back up. It seems like when I use the controller at the main menu, it would freeze, so I unplugged the controller. And then it still did it just using the mouse and keyboard, so it's one of those, like, I'm going to reboot, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that.
The last thing you want to do when you start playing the game.
Yeah, if there's one thing we all love, it's troubleshooting technical bullshit when we get ready to play games. That's been a common theme this week too. Well, cool.
When the little dots show up, is that like a puzzle thing you're doing? No, that's the
nary a puzzle to be found.
No.
That's like the targeting and like your moves, right? Like that's when you're casting your abilities. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a different setting from what I'm usually into. I don't really get into the futuristic stuff so much, but I'm intrigued.
Good stuff. I want to tell you guys about Phantom Dust, if I can.
Please do.
So Phantom Dust...
Look at you, Mr. Xbox.
Right? Phantom Dust was a very... we could call it a cult classic, I suppose, for the original Xbox. Was it the original Xbox? Yeah.
Yep.
Way back in the day.
That looks cool.
So they decided to, like, I think originally they were working on a sequel to it, and that got shit canned, but, or at least put on hiatus or something. This is a remaster, but it's kind of not, like, it still looks like garbage. It still looks like an Xbox game. They just up-resed it so that it fits, a widescreen TV. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, the textures and stuff are garbage, bad. The animations are bad. I can see why people dug it. It has some neat elements to it. Like when you get into one of these matches, you'll see here in a second, there are these orbs that are kind of laid out in front of you. And the way it seems is those are kind of collectible things. You basically earn these skills, and then they get spit out in front of you when a match starts. So you go pick them up, and as you use them, they'll recharge, but they'll fill up with the different orbs that you've collected. And those are your abilities that you're assigning to your buttons on your controller. X, B, Y, and A. It's there's a lot of good stuff going on here. Like the abilities are all pretty unique, and getting the timing down for them is pretty fun and challenging. A lot of the environments are destructible, so like I was super surprised. I jumped against this guy on a bridge one time and like did this, like AoE splash attack and destroyed the bridge that we were both on. But since he fell through it first and died, I won the match anyway because it was like I killed him before I died. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it doesn't look great. the visuals and the visual style have not aged great. Like just the way that people designed user interfaces and stuff back then, it's all so much different. It looks so crusty and old to me. And the story is really out there. The whole concept is basically there was this like apocalyptic event, and there's this dust that has kind of like settled everywhere in all the cities, and basically
sci-fi dust.
Yeah, sci-fi plot dust that basically killed everything, but the people that it didn't kill, it basically wiped out their memories. So everyone has amnesia, but it also gave them these psychic abilities. They can basically force.
Is this an anime? This sounds like an anime.
Oh, it's very, very, very Japanese. Yes.
Yeah. Brian's not wrong.
So, yeah, one, I'm already not the target demographic for that. But I tried to put that aside and see if I could enjoy it. And, I had fun with it for a little bit, but this is definitely not enough there to get me to go back to it. It was like, okay, that's neat. I'm glad I know what that is. And I think I'm probably done with it. Like, the combat is real wonky. It was free. You're welcome to download it and try it out. But, yeah. I don't know. This doing anything for any of you guys? This look like something you need in your life?
Maybe when it was new.
Yeah. Combat does not look like it's something I would enjoy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's aged super well.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. Like the different abilities, they all have a range on them. So like you'll see some of them you want to be super far away before you attack, and some of them you got to be like within melee range. A lot of these are defensive skills that you'll use to block a skill shot that's coming in towards you. It I don't know. It feels really weird and clunky in 2017, but I'm glad it's around. A big thing that I'm always a fan of is like finding a way to preserve old games. So I'm glad that I was able to try this out. I would never have been able to pick it up on an Xbox and go back and play it there. So it's neat. It's neat for what it is.
Yeah.
So cool.
I thought they had talked about it like it was a card. There was a card element to it, or is that just like the orbs that you've customized before the match?
I think that's the orbs. Yeah, I didn't get too far into it. Like I said, I probably played it for an hour or so.
Yeah.
It seems like that is a thing. I think in the multiplayer, there's like a thing you can download. I think they added some kind of like free-to-play mechanic to that where you can get the different skills there. And they unlock like cards. It's a collectible thing. So I would assume that when you go into a multiplayer match, you can set up like a deck of sorts that has all of your different psionic powers there. And unlock different ones. You probably pay for them too. So yeah, it's there if you want it. I did. That did feel pretty good. I do love me some Chivos. So
you're gonna keep playing this?
No. No. Nope. Like I said, it was a neat thing to see, but I don't think I really need to see much more of what it has to offer. If you catch my meaning. So yeah. I'll say this though. I would be very interested to see what a sequel to it would look like, because something where they've cleaned all that up and like really polished it up and looks ready for modern day. I would at least check that out, because the idea is neat, the concept is neat. I just feel like it's a little too crusty and
post-apocalyptic. Things are all ruined and crumbling, and we're trying to survive.
Everyone's trying to they explained something cool in the beginning, that like everyone has this urge to go visit these ruins and no one knows why. So like they all wake up with like no memories except for this inexplicable urge and this memory, this one like vision of these ruins. And the dude that they find, like your character and this other one, they open him up from like this cryo chamber that they find. And so that's really all you know. And I don't know, it's
all you're ever gonna know.
it's all I'm ever gonna know. Yeah, it's that part was neat, but not neat enough for me to trudge through this thing. So, yeah, there you go. There's Phantom Dust. And now for something completely different. Kat, what's up with Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, so Brian
Is this the Robert Downey
saw
Jr.
this
version?
game and said that it had me written all over it.
Okay.
And so we picked it up last week.
Yeah, it
I
was
think for
on
$10
sale
or
on the
something.
PlayStation Store. Yeah.
Yep. And of course, I get really geeked about puzzle games, adventure games, and I love Sherlock Holmes. We checked it out, and I only played for a little bit because I played late at night. But here you are, you meet, you meet Watson, you meet Sherlock Holmes and Mrs. Hudson.
Yeah,
and
Lestrade.
Lestrade.
And the opening of the game is just perfect, where like you're like walking into the room and Sherlock's got a blindfold on and he's shooting.
He's shooting the
And
room.
You're like dodging from furniture to furniture, like stop, hey.
And it's
That's
true
awesome.
to Sherlock for sure.
It fits pretty well.
And this is the first case. Like I didn't even quite finish what's here, but it's neat because hey, I assume Tyler, you've seen Sherlock. No.
No.
Okay, so
I've seen the Robert Downey Jr. movie.
Sean the Non-Believer, but essentially, like in Sherlock, his brain, he picks out all these different elements that people don't normally see, and one of your shoulder buttons, you push it down, and you get to look for things like, let's say, like the police wouldn't normally see. So you have to start piecing everything together. I haven't actually solved anything yet, but I've gotten to pick up clues, and the mechanic of it's pretty neat. I'll have more of it next week once I actually play through a couple of the mysteries and see how it works. But you can pick out little things from what people tell you, like, is this person telling the truth? Are they, withholding information? Something like that, which is what Sherlock does. Like, he's real keen to that stuff.
Well, the Sherlock I know uses that ability to like break people's bones in the right way and like shoot at ridiculous
the Robert Downey Jr.
angles.
Yeah.
And,
No, not that one. Not yet.
When do you get to do that? You don't?
I'll let you know if there's combat.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm hoping for. I want to see that action.
Yep.
That's what the kids like.
One thing I got really excited about, and it's silly, is you can dress up Sherlock how you want to dress them up.
Now you're speaking my
Here we go.
language.
I put him in this awesome suit and this top hat, and I was like, this is pretty awesome. You can give him like glasses, and I haven't seen the relevancy of it yet, but you can put disguises on.
That sounds good. I want to do it. That's
Your dollies, Tyler.
yeah. No,
Yes, your dollies.
you sold me on it.
Well,
Combat
I
can
tried
take
to
a
give
back
him
seat now.
a goatee, and they told me I couldn't. Like, I didn't need that right now for
Who would
whatever
do that?
reason.
Facial hairs for weirdos. Well, cool.
This is Crime and Punishment.
Yeah.
I know there's a series of these games. I think this was supposed to be the best one.
Yeah, and I'll have more. I don't think this, like, I'll have my own footage, and the whole looking at clues is really cool. We'll get into that. I don't know if it shows it in this clip or not. But you can choose different questions, and you can look deeper at what their body language tells you, which is fascinating to me. Yeah, I did this, and you can pick out, like, well, this is different. Why are they doing that? And this is missing. And what does this mean? So it's right up my alley. Surprise, surprise.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is real cool. Yeah. I know you guys are huge Sherlock fans, so this seems like a no-brainer. But
Yeah,
looks
would
like
you
it's
just
well
watch
done.
it, please?
Yeah.
One of us.
Sure.
One of us.
Someday, sure.
We
Yeah.
need this.
Okay.
Greater good.
It's on the Netflix.
It's on the
Oh, is
Netflix,
it?
Tyler.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean?
Get on your net.
Let me tell you.
They-
I've been
They
watching a
just
lot of
added season 4.
Netflix in my house is mostly used for My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and
Nice.
recently, my daughter started watching Troll Hunters, and that show is real cool.
Troll hunters.
Yeah, little guy gets he's like a little, he's a teenager, and he gets a sword and some armor, and fights trolls and
There
stuff.
it is.
It's real good. Yeah, and it's magic. It's all magic. Kelsey Grammer does a voice in it, and Ron Perlman. So it's a Guillermo del Toro creation. So this is quality stuff here. It's DreamWorks, guys.
Yeah.
This isn't just
High-end.
Yeah,
We respect you, Tyler. It's all right.
Do we, though?
this is my life now, guys. I have to enjoy. When there's a cool kid show that isn't like fucking Strawberry Shortcake, I gotta latch onto it. All right. So.
Oh God, I hated the strawberry shortcake.
Right?
stuff.
Oh my god! I want to.
You want to watch Phineas and Ferb? Okay, let's watch Phineas
Let's
and
watch
Ferb all day,
Phineas and
please.
Ferb. Yeah,
I just
that
can't.
is the best show ever.
When is it too early to get my kid watching Rick and Morty? Probably
Well,
still
how
too
old is
early.
a
She's
little bit early
4.
on that one.
Yeah,
You want her to be at least 6.
Okay, all right. I'll pencil that in somewhere. We'll get that
2
in
years. 2 years.
there. Well, Kat, I'm gonna. Oh, Jesus! You can't do that. You can't do the thing that I did just now. Maybe I can. There
Don't
we
do the
go.
bad thing.
I did something. It's fine. It'll all work out. I've got a video up here for The Unfinished Swan. Oh, God, and it's loud. All right, I'm doing everything wrong today. What's up with The Unfinished Swan, Kat? I'm giving you 2 in a row.
I know we
Really
talked
put you on the
about
spot.
this, but not on the podcast. But
This is the part that made you happy.
This
that
is the
that's
happy
on the
part?
screen here.
this is the happy part. Like, remember we talked last time about how you said, "Oh yeah, I think the world opens up and you see more things." I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is really cool."
Right, because initially it was
It's
it's
just
all
throw
white
paint
and you're
and you
throwing
can't see
paint,
it.
and that's it.
And at one point you get to throw water, and that's really cool too. And then you get to a part where you're not expecting it, and monsters jump out, and I literally screamed
Yep.
because it scared me so much,
Well, the sound comes out of the speaker on the controller.
and it was loud.
Yeah, I would have thrown that thing.
My 10-year-old came running out from her room asking if I was okay.
Yep.
But I mean, the mechanics of they look like ping pong paddles to me when you're trying to use devices and stuff. So that's what I call them. You kind of throw them at the paddles, and I feel like they do a lot of different mechanics in this game. Awesome. The spiders in the woods were not necessary.
Now this was a dark stage where your light source is an orb, and you have to keep
You have to-
shooting it and like staying inside the light radius.
You have
right?
to stay in it, and once you're out of the light radius, things will come and kill you, and you get maybe 3 shots and you're dead, and you have to start all over. If you fall in the water, you have to start all over, which means you hear these creepy crawly things coming after you. And I told
That's
Brian
not okay.
I was done with the game at that point. I was like, no, I'm not playing anymore. But I did pick it up afterwards.
Good.
I just it just was not necessary.
I was surprised to see it when I walked in and looked. It was on the TV because
He's like,
so far
that's
the game's just
unsettling.
been like, la-di-da, we're throwing paint. We got some puzzles and it's bright, and
Mm-hmm.
just take your time. This is cool.
Yeah, and maybe there's some kind of behind the scenes it has to deal with I know the mom's dead or missing or something like that. And maybe it has to do with some kind of artist struggle or something like that. Maybe there's something
sure there's a
more
reason.
to it. But right now it's just creepy as hell, and I don't ever want to see it again.
I think each one of the stages that you go through is vastly different, if I remember when I watched
It
it.
is.
So I don't think you'll probably be visited by that kind of terror again. But I can't say for certain. I think I skipped around a bit.
Did we have footage of the vines stage I went through?
I don't think
I'll
so.
have to get-
No.
I'll get some of that up. That is by far my favorite. You have to scale walls, and you throw the water to make the plants grow, and you can kind of keep throwing it wherever. That is by far my favorite stage because you're scaling the walls, and you're climbing up here, and you're making bridges, and
That's cool.
yeah, it was pretty
Some
fascinating.
Spider-Man shit.
No Spider-Man.
That's cool. So
There's no radioactive spiders.
You think now that you're past the spidery stage, you think you'll finish it?
Yes, actually, I'll probably get another video of where I'm at now. I will never post. I won't go back, and I won't post anything with the spiders because it's so creepy.
I won't go
unless you
back
guys
there.
want
You
to hear
can't
it.
make me.
No, it's pretty terrifying. But yeah, definitely. I think I can't remember where I was at right now, but I'll get a video of it, and it's.
You were doing like there's like an architecture looking area. Last I saw, it was like an empty blank house, and you were like going out.
Oh yeah. Once I
Yeah.
got out of the spider horrible forest, we walked into this. It was almost like you walked into blueprints of a house, and then all of a sudden you're making like steps and stuff just from putting squares on there, and you can make them go taller, you can make them go wider. It's real odd, but it's fun. I'll have to
Good
take
stuff.
videos of it to explain it
Yeah.
better, but it's neat.
That's cool. I know the vine part you're talking about. I remember seeing that, so that
So
is one
cool.
of the cooler mechanics. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, oh, I know. Elder Scrolls Online was something I dabbled in this week, and
You're just going back to all the old games, aren't you?
yeah, kind of, yeah. It was like, well, okay. So I was listening to another podcast, The Final Score with Scott Johnson, and he was raving about Elder Scrolls Online, about how great it is, how it's like better than it's ever been. The
I was
Morrowind.
listening to Boop with Scott Johnson, and he was raving about.
Oh,
Elder
I'm
Scrolls
sorry.
Online.
It's Boop. They just
Oh, okay. I was like, wow,
the Final Score is their old gaming show, and Boop is the evolution of it. Anyway, here you go. It's the Final Score chat. Boop. Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
Same one. But yeah, he was talking about how great it is. Morrowind is coming out soon. I think it's like this week. I just looked down at my wrist as if I had like a calendar on my wrist. Is it about this week? Anyway.
I thought that was out already.
It might be. I know you could pre-order it. It might be out now. It's very soon. But so I figured I'd boot it up. I'd give it a try. I had to reinstall it. Which took a really long time for some reason. I don't know. It was like 80 gigs or something like that. It took forever.
It's massive.
But yeah, my level 12 Dragon Knight man was still here, and I was in some woods, and there were deer around, so I'm like, well, I guess I kill some deer. I didn't know what to do.
My hero.
I couldn't remember where. Yeah,
How old is this game?
The deer's just standing there, and you're swinging the sword all around its head.
It's like do.
yeah.
Can't you hit me?
It did nothing wrong. There was a notification that said you need to reapply all your skills when I first logged in, and I was.
See, there we go.
I didn't know how to do that, so I apologize. This video is going to be kind of boring because a lot of it is me trying to remember how to get through the menus and different systems and stuff. But
You monster.
yeah, look, hey, I'm just trying to get a good view of how the world works. There, I had to smack a
Did
couple
you get any
deer.
crown crates?
I don't know if I got any crown crates. If I did,
Oh.
I wasn't aware of how to collect them. I did level up once, so that seems to be a lot quicker process now because that
No
was,
Horde Dragon Knight. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
of course.
I read Nerd Dragon Knight. I'm just like, what?
That's
What?
nerd,
What are
yeah.
you doing?
I'm playing the nerd class.
Nerd.
Both are accurate, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the nerd is implied.
Yeah, right. I mean, guys, come on.
So anyway, it feels the same, but I assume that the parts that I didn't get into are what they've really been, working on is
quests
the
and
way
the
you level up and the way
story
the quest and stuff. Yeah, so I haven't seen much of that yet. When I have some more time, I do want to actually give it another go because Luke and I bought into this game at the high price point. we were really sold by the marketing on this thing, and I would like to get my money's worth out of it because so far my highest level character is 12.
Right,
Yeah,
right up
he
there
is
is an indication of that.
There he is. Yeah, good old
Collector's
mullet ball.
edition of ESO.
I have it too. I
just-
got
you
it
just
much
paid it.
later when it was like, hey, this is like $4. I'm like, yeah, sure, fine.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah, he picked it up off of the clearance cart in Walmart, just sitting there at the bottom with Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
I guess.
Yeah.
Tyler, I think I got
played
to
it for a
around the
couple of
same
hours.
level as you did, like somewhere in the teens.
And it
I was
wasn't-
also a Dragon Knight, and it was a really good game when it first came out. It just came out in a really bad time for me.
Yeah. I don't think it was all that good, though. I
I
mean,
played
know.
it for a few hours, and it was like, oh, this is all fine and competent, but nothing was, I wasn't engaged with it.
I remember.
What is that thing?
Oh, that is called a lurcher.
What
and
deer is that?
yeah, it's a lurcher, and it's like a big thing of magic and
Is it like a
roots and
Guardian of the forest?
yeah. So I killed that too. Apparently Nords aren't really into the whole conservation thing, or maybe I am. Maybe those are overgrown weeds that have gotten out of control, and I'm just helping maintain the balance.
Fake news.
Let's go with that. Fake news. So anyway, here's where I remembered that skills are a thing, and I go and actually start plugging those in. They've redone.
Nice hat.
Yeah, it's got horns on it. That's
That's
what you
kind of the
want.
trademark. Yeah.
But yeah, the abilities and stuff are cool. The cool thing with ESO is that you're not really locked into even though you choose a class at the beginning. If I decided that I wanted to, instead of having a two-handed sword and a sword and shield and all that, if I wanted to just pick up a staff and start using a healing staff and make that my main thing, I could do that, and I could build a class around that and level up those skills. Nothing stops you from doing that at any point.
Do you cross class or do you change class?
There is no actual class. Like, your class is basically just choosing which trees you want to start with.
Gotcha.
Through the different weapons, you can gain skills in those specific weapons too. Like, you'll see here, I have a two-handed sword, so I get like access to an uppercut ability and a charge ability and a cleave ability. Those are all tied to the weapon, not my class. So
Gotcha.
a mage could learn those too, or a rogue could learn those too, and decide, they could use their class abilities along with the weapon abilities and armor abilities and stuff to kind of create their own hybrid thing.
Do you know what parts of the game you do buy into? Because this is a buy it once and then it's free to play.
As far as
There's no monthly.
As far as I know, all crowns are used for are cosmetics. So like mounts and different
That's
costume
the right
sets.
way to do
and,
things.
Yep. I don't think there are.
And I think the
XP
the Morrowind, like the Morrowind content, like that costs money too, right?
Yeah, that'll be a separate.
Yes.
Like an expansion pack kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So
I think I
yeah,
heard that was $40 or $60, depending which version you got.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So that particular province of Tamriel will be closed off until you buy the expansion. The cool thing is, though, now since one of the big things that they did when they revamped it, they call it one Tamriel instead of getting a specific starting zone that you have to go to and the zones all being leveled. Now it works much more like Skyrim, where you can go and level anywhere, you can start anywhere, and the enemies and stuff will be appropriate to your level. So if you bought this game and bought the Morrowind expansion and said, like, I want to recreate the experience I had when I played Morrowind, 20 years ago or whatever, you can do that, and you can start there and go through all that content first and then get out into the rest of the world. So that's something I'd like to explore, because I have certain like favorite areas from Skyrim and from Oblivion that I would like to go see that used to be, walled off. Not walled off, but like, too high a level or whatever for my characters at the time. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious about it, because I think I've gotten all I can get out of Skyrim at this point. This doesn't do the combat and stuff quite as well, I don't think, as in Skyrim. But
No.
there are some interesting abilities, and you can see that one of those lurcher things starts wailing on me while I'm trying to like apply my skills and stuff. I'm just like, hey, calm down, man. But
Real low class.
yeah, like, let me at least equip my abilities first, buddy. Like, anyway,
Tyler, did you get the Dragon Leap ability?
I do have that. That's I picked that for my ultimate, I believe. It's real cool.
That's like one of the best skills in just about any game. It was so awesome.
You sprout wings and like fly across the area and slam down into your target.
Select where you want to land and just...
Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, if you guys want to get in there, I'd be willing to. This seems like it would be way more fun with other people. So if you want to spend a night checking out Elder Scrolls, I'd be way down for that. But yeah, that's that. Did I miss anything?
It'll be something I'll have to install overnight because, like you said,
Yeah.
you had picked it up. I'm like, I should reinstall this. That's going to take hours. Never mind.
Yeah.
It was a large game.
Yep. Yep. Brian. Oh shit! I forgot to grab. I forgot to grab Zelda footage. How's Zelda treating you, Brian?
So we won't get dinged for copyright
Probably not.
infringement.
Let me see if I can dig up that picture. But yeah, how's
Zelda's been fine. I've been taking it to work with me and playing it on lunch. It lends itself to short bursts of gameplay. I'm kind of where I was with it. Like, there's no part of it that's really engaging me very hard. Usually, like, I'll just pick it up. I'll just kind of wander around and see what I see and see if I can get to any towers or find any shrines I haven't done yet. I'm still getting some frustrating sessions where it's like, oh, there's a tower I want to go to, and then everything one-shots me once I get there. Well,
Yep.
this was a waste of time. I'll teleport somewhere else and find something else to do. But that's kind of that double-edged sword of things not scaling to your level, because when things all scale to your level, it's just like, I don't know, it feels artificial.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do things scale to your level in that game?
Not really. Like, kind of.
No.
The enemies will start to level up with you. So, like, you'll start to see... I remember it was, like, when I started seeing the black bokoblins, it was like, oh, these guys are harder. They've got more health. And then you'll eventually start seeing, like, silver... Like, white ones and then silver ones. Those ones will be the ones that are, like, really, really hard. You won't get those until you've got more hearts and stamina to deal with them. But...
I saw a centaur man, and I ran away.
Lionels. Yeah,
Lionel.
don't fuck with the Lionels yet.
I met with a flying wizard-looking thing that just like froze me and one-shotted me.
Wizrobes, yes.
Two goblins for me.
The wolves were neat. I encountered wolves, and like I found one. I'm just like, oh, he's running around, little silly guy. Let's
Little fella.
come here, puppy. And then he, tried to eat me. But like there was a pack of them, and they were behaving the way I would expect a pack of wolves to behave. Like they were circling me and trying to dart in when I had my back to them, and it was pretty neat.
Yeah, their AI was pretty spot on.
The way,
like, hey, what are you guys doing? Get away from me.
yeah, the way that they really kind of focused on the wild aspect of that. The environment in that game is done so well. My daughter, I've been playing this game a lot more around my daughter because I love handing her the console and like watching what she does with it. And she is all about just exploring. She doesn't want to fight things. She doesn't want to get into trouble. She just wants to check stuff out. And today I let her play around with it and got her on a horse and let her explore with the horse. That was really fun to watch. And she kept wanting to just take it down by the water and let it like drink the water. She would say. And there's like little dragonflies hovering above the water, and she goes, "Oh, are those bad? Will they hurt me?" I'm like, no, they're just dragonflies, just like normal. And she saw some ducks out in the water and wanted to swim over to those to see what would happen. It's just cool to see her, like, she just literally wants to explore, and that's a really cool thing to watch. So yeah, it's done very well.
I had a goblin kill me with my own bomb, which was really neat too. There was a group of goblins, and I was running, and I dropped the bomb behind me, and I was going to detonate it, and it booted it at me, which I didn't expect, and I blew it up in my own face and died. It's like, I'm not even mad. Like, that's really cool.
You can kick them back and throw them back at you.
Yeah, there's some interesting interactions. I love how they'll just grab any old weapon or whatever they can find on the ground to fight with you. Pretty much any enemy will do that. It's cool. It's done really well. Well, I hope that you stick with it, because...
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I got to get stronger, because I had a run of like 3 shines all in a row where it's like Like it was a major combat trial, and then a modest one, and then a modest one. And it's just like I can't do any of these. I'm just going from shrine to shrine, and getting told to leave. It's
I liked watching you get bucked off the horse. That was entertaining.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, they don't all just let
Like,
you.
I'm gonna ride
there.
this wild horse. Nope, you are not going to ride this wild horse.
Yeah, they those shrines. I remember what I would do is I would just put a skull. I'd mark a skull on the map where I found those that were just too much for me at the time, so that I knew to come back when I was, when I was stronger. But yeah. Well, you've got the Nintendo hotline available to you at all times here with us. Anytime you need tips. Good stuff. Well, Luke, I almost forgot about this, but you played the best game of all time, Super Metroid.
Yes, I played Super Metroid for a little bit today. Not so much to play it, but to test something.
Okay.
So I finally got my Switch Pro controller working on my PC.
Well done.
After 2 nights, well, not even 2 nights, 1 night of frustration. So reading guides is supposed to be super simple. Get a Bluetooth adapter, put it in your PC, and then pair it, and you're good to go. So I went down to the local big box electronic retail store, bought a Bluetooth adapter, plugged it in, and the damn thing would not work. The driver page for it didn't exist anymore. Downloaded several different drivers, nothing would work. Finally got it to recognize the Bluetooth adapter, tried to pair it, and it just would not pair. It would start the process and never finish. Spent like a good hour and a half on this thing. He got frustrated. So I went to
major electronics retailer.
Yeah. So I went to the online retailer of everything under the sun and had it sent to my house in 2 days, a new one. So I took a break, gave it a few days. Shipping? It was free shipping, yep. I plugged this adapter into my PC. I was like, okay, let me see. Do I have to install any more drivers? Nope, that installed automatically. Sweet. All right. Let's try to pair up this thing.
I played it in high school.
Pairing and done. So fired up the emulator, synced up all the buttons to it, and it's a fantastic controller for Super Metroid. Very happy with it.
Yeah, that
sounds, so Luke,
sounds good.
It sounds like you had a customer disappoint and you took your business elsewhere.
I did. Yes, I did. And this adapter from this online retail location was nearly half the price.
Thanks, online mega retailer Prime. Yeah.
So I'm super excited because this kind of can segue into the news.
We have news.
If you want, Tyler.
Sure. Hang on. I know about those things. Here we go.
I caught you off guard.
It's the news, and it's brought to you by supermegaretailer.com. All right. Sure, Luke, why don't you take it away with the news, because I actually don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So, Switch.
Oh, the Nintendo Switch, yes, I've heard of this.
Charging for online services.
Yeah.
And they're going to basically give people a old classic game for a month at a time, then take it away. And the internet, being the internet, complained about that for the right reasons this time, and they actually went through and changed their stance on it.
Wait.
So now...
Wait, you're telling me that Nintendo did a thing based on customer feedback and it made sense this time?
Yes.
Huh.
Nintendo is just tearing it up in 2017, actually listening to customers. It's amazing.
Okay. All right.
So now their online service is going to be $20 for an entire year. And during that time, as long as you have an online subscription, you'll have access to their gaming catalog, which as of right now only consists of Super Mario Bros. 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario.
I was really hoping to play Balloon Fight again, so that's it's good.
There you go.
Value proposition.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've heard people speculate that this could end up being, a Netflix for games kind of service, much like the other
really what
companies
it
are
kind of
doing.
sounds like.
It's basically what What is it? PS Now, I think
Yeah.
is similar to that, and Xbox Game Pass is kind of like that, in that you download the games and get to hang on to them. But
We were talking about this, that they have to change up their model because like having to rebuy games in the virtual console, have to do it on the Wii and then the Wii U for them that bought the Wii U. Like that feels bad, than asking those people to buy a third console and then buy the same game a third time.
Well, it's also on the DS as well.
Yeah.
So you could buy it 3 times if you really want to play the same game.
What year is it? Like it's just a real
Yeah, I've
archaic
never understood
system.
that. Like,
Yeah.
why we have the capability. You make everything backwards compatible.
So
And these
it's
are all
a-
digital downloads. Like if you have it for the Wii, you should be able to install it on the Wii U without having to buy it again.
Right.
If it's the same game. So
Just tie it to my friend code.
Yeah.
it's another
So-
case of Nintendo being ass backwards in some regards.
Hopefully this is a step in the right direction, though. Just let my Nintendo account have this online service, and then if I get a DS, boom, I have that content.
Eligible
on that.
consoles, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the downside is that as of right now, it's only the NES library that's going to be included in this, with Super Nintendo to be quote unquote under consideration.
that's
But
the
if-
part that makes me worried, is that it doesn't sound like it's
We'll
going.
think about it.
It doesn't sound
Maybe-
like it's going.
Maybe
to
if
be,
you guys are good. Maybe.
Right, like Brian, you talked about this being hopefully a replacement for the Virtual Console. If they're just going to give us a few NES games, that isn't that. That isn't a
Then you
replacement.
start creeping towards like GameCube era stuff.
Yeah, it's. I know that that's not as easy as it sounds. That there are a bunch of technical hurdles to get over. Like one person pointed out that the GameCube was one of the first consoles that had a. I can't think of the pressure sensitive trigger, basically. So like a game like what was it, the Mario one with the water, Mario Sunshine. The stream would change strength depending on how hard you were holding down the trigger. The Switch doesn't have that, so how do you port that game over? Like there starts to be like hardware discrepancies that will limit what you can actually port and what you can't. That said, I feel like there's ways that you could work around that, to get the majority of the library over.
Yeah, you can still get 99% of the games over, though.
Right. Yeah.
And to not include SNES games, like to just say that they're going to be under consideration, I'm sorry, that's probably Nintendo's most well-known console.
Yep.
Like, how do you not even just say, yes, absolutely, those games are going to be in there?
They seem super, super cautious to do that with anything. Like, the in the same press conference, they were asked straight up what's going on with the Virtual Console, and the response was, we don't have anything to announce on that at this time. Like, they're just not giving anybody anything. They want to
I
control
want
the
to play
message.
Earthbound on my Switch.
Yep. So do
There's
a lot.
so many good titles that would be perfect for the Switch.
I will throw my money at Link to the Past once again if you let me do it on the Switch. I just will. I can't help it. A Link Awakens, what about words? Link's Awakening? That's the one. Yeah.
Wake up, Link.
Yep, I would totally play that again as well. So, hey, I want to keep the Nintendo theme going here. I'm adding in a news article because now we can talk about how they're continuing to be just regular old Nintendo, because they released how you're going to do voice chat on Splatoon 2.
Yeah, they did.
Oh god, what kind of flowchart is this?
Holy shit, you guys.
What the
So, let me just paint this picture for you real quick. You've got your Nintendo Switch here, and you want to play some Squid Kids Splatoon 2 with your buds. So, you get yourself a nice headset here, a cool little Squid Kid headset, and that is going to plug into a little Y adapter. That is then going to go one cord from there into your Nintendo Switch. And then out of that, the other side of this is going to plug into your smart device. Now, if you have a Apple smart device, that's going to go into you're going to want this little guy here, your little Lightning to 3.5 millimeter adapter to then go into your iPhone. And then you're going to download an app so that you can launch the voice chat service through your app, and then it'll, just fuck it all together so it happens in your ears the right way.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys ready
Easy
for
peasy.
that? Easy. It's a flow chart that you can do in 7 easy steps.
Question,
Yes.
if I may.
Yeah, sure.
So, this image you have here is the Switch in handheld mode.
Right.
What if I
You're not
have
gonna
this
do this in handheld
docked,
Don't
and I'm
dock it.
playing halfway across the room on my...
Nobody does that. Situation's never going
I'm
to come up.
running a 15-foot audio cable across my living room.
I mean, unless
That's not a realistic scenario.
Yeah, not only that, Luke, but where's your phone in all this again, too? Like, so now you got to have that cord going from your phone all the way over to you? Like,
That's fine. The phone can be next to me.
well, right, but yeah, if the Switch isn't next to you, then
You need to get an armband like you're working out and just strap the phone right onto your arm.
yeah, this is all going to
Nintendo,
Just one more
please.
accessory.
Come
They're
on.
reasonably priced.
If these cords are all short and you're using it in
Yeah,
handheld
financing.
mode, sure. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, when I have this thing docked on the other side of the room, and I have to have a physical cable going from my Switch to my phone and to my headset, this is so
No, this is an
insane.
aftermarket device pictured here.
Yeah, Hori makes it. This is the official one, though. Like, this is an official setup from, it's a third-party product, but Nintendo ain't making it. They're letting a third party do it. Here's a picture of it. Let's see if I can pull this up. Oh my god. It's so ridiculous. The little Y adapter even looks like a squid. Oh man.
I just had flashbacks to, God, was it the GameCube where you could hook up the Game Boy Advances with the link cables and
Yeah.
buying all
Yeah.
these clumsy ass aftermarket accessories to,
Yeah.
chicken wire and duct tape stuff together to make it work.
How come there isn't just a little, audio button on the bottom, or audio port on the bottom of my Pro controller? And I could just plug a headset into this.
Well, because the company that made it doesn't think that you want to actually talk to your friends.
I don't. I don't really want to talk to you guys, but if I have to, that's
Nailed
how
it.
I want to do it.
Because it's 2017 and nobody's going to tell Nintendo how to do online. They're going to figure it out themselves. This
Didn't
Go ahead.
I mean Microsoft did that on their controller years ago?
The first Xbox controller had this functionality. You plugged your headset into that, and that's how it got fed to the console. Yes.
You telling me they can't transmit audio via Bluetooth?
Oh no, I'm telling you, there's probably dozens of ways that this could have been done better. They're just deciding not to.
I don't know about that, Tyler.
You don't think so?
I think this is the best solution.
Do you?
I mean,
Do you though?
It's gonna provide the most laughs. That's for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have my Switch
this
handy
is-
here, but
This is proving more entertaining than just putting a simple port in a controller
yeah,
already.
yeah. This is already a value proposition. for
And
me.
off.
I swear they just look at something and go, "What is the most cumbersome way we could do this?"
Yeah. How do we make people really angry with us about something? I don't know. Let's just make them buy 12 accessories so that they can voice chat. That sounds good. We'll do that.
To have this product that seamlessly goes between a handheld device with controllers that could just pop off easily, and then dock the console and automatically switch over to your TV.
Yeah.
Are you
have to
saying
go
this
through
goes
this
against the spirit
process?
of the entire console?
I have this.
Yeah.
I have this brilliant. Like everyone, there's a Nintendo board meeting, and they have top men on this, right? They're just all trying to hammer this out, and an intern busts through the doors. Bam! I have it. Wires. We'll just use wires, guys. That's what we'll do. They're all like, "Oh, brilliant! Yes." Thank you. I hope that world exists.
I can't even comprehend this.
Well, the good news is that I don't think anyone here is going to give a crap about Splatoon 2. And
Right.
so, yeah, we'll just let that one keep on going.
I feel like in the future there's going to be a game that we are going to care about, that we do want to talk to each other.
Yep. We'll just hop on like Skype or Discord or something.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, like I don't.
Yeah.
I'll wear an earbud and a set of headphones over top of it and call it a day. I put the phone on speakerphone, something. I don't know. I'll find a different solution that doesn't involve like a Y adapter and 3 extra cables. I'll figure something out.
Question.
Answer, yes. Look,
How much does this whole get-up that you have here
I
cost?
think it's $30 for the whole package, so it's actually
How
not
much?
$30,
30?
is what I've heard. Yeah, so that's not as bad as it could be. It's probably the most reasonably priced Nintendo Switch accessory
Yep.
Yeah.
because the other shit ain't cheap at all.
$90 dock.
$90 dock, like $70 Joy-Cons, something like that. So yeah, get your Hori.
Is there a way to charge it without the dock?
You could
This
just
is-
plug the cables in. Yeah,
I think you can just plug the power cable right into the system.
Okay.
uses-
I think I haven't
really, they're
tried.
gonna charge you
yeah.
$90 for something that should have come with the game anyway.
Like the system comes with a dock, but like if you wanted a second dock, like I wanted a dock
Oh, gotcha.
here and there,
Oh, gotcha.
and there's not much to the dock. But
It's a USB-C to HDMI extender dock thing. It's not something real crazy, but yeah,
It's mostly plastic.
it's mostly it's mostly plastic. But yeah, the only other news I really have is that, to my dismay, Middle-earth Shadow of War got delayed until October. So won't be heading back to Middle-earth quite as soon. It was slated for August, so it got bumped back a couple months.
This is pretty
Why?
typical.
Yeah, it happens with most games. It's one of those where I don't mind it happening so much. I just I want them to polish this up as much as they can and give me the best game. I'm not like starving for it, but you know, it is creeping into that fall holiday area where there's going to be a bunch of games coming out and they're going to be fighting for my dollars. So I don't know. They'll get them. It was my favorite game of 2014, and still super high on my list. Probably still in my top 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll just get that in October instead. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to go over before I get us on out of here?
don't think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to do it for us for this week, folks. Thank you for tuning in here at twitch.tv/questlogcast. You can find our show on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, pretty much wherever you find any crusty old podcast. You can find us too. You can find us on the YouTube. I believe the link is watch.questlogcast.com/YouTube. What else we got? Mail. You can send us an email. Rob sent one in right before, or I think when we got started. So we'll take a look at that and maybe hit you up next week, Rob. Sorry about that. Mail@questlogcast.com is where you would go to send those. Big thank you to Visager, who did our music. You can find more of his work at visager.bandcamp.com. And I think that's... Oh, check out our shirts. We got merch. It's designed by humans. There's a link down below, and you can find it at questlogcast.com. That's going to do it for me. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yep. See you guys in 2 weeks.
We will miss
Good
you.
night.
Luke. You will be missed.
/good day.